kidnapped. We are murdered at 10 times the rate of other ethnicities, and it's the third leading cause of death. And that's just based on the reported cases. It's important to note that because the root of this issue lies in what we don't know. We don't have all of the important information. We don't have nearly the amount of data on this issue that we should. And the reason for that, the reason for not knowing what happens to these women and for not solving these cases is based on more important government issues, like whose jurisdiction is bigger. You see, the federal government wants to own reservation land and native land, but they don't want to take responsibility for it. The state doesn't have the resources or the manpower to handle all of these cases, especially in Alaska. And the native governments may have all the evidence in the world, but they haven't been granted the right to prosecute these cases. So, at the end of the day, when a woman is murdered, there's no arrest, there's no trial, there's no sentencing, and half the time, no data is even collected so that her life can count in the form of a statistic. She's erased. It's like she never existed. So that's why I chose to come here today. Because I wanted to show you that Native women are not myths. We are not Pocahontas, we are not squaws, we are not invisible, and we should not be forgotten. I'm here to speak for those who no longer have the choice to speak. Those who have been silenced by murder and trafficking and kidnapping. I'm not here today as any part of an organization. I'm not here today with a sheet full of statistics. I'm here as a Native woman who can't stand to see another missing poster for my friend's cousin, or my neighbors, or my cousin's aunt. I'm here because I want to go back to the days where I associated red dresses with Valentine's Day and not missing and murdered Indigenous women. I'm here because when I hear stories of another young woman being murdered in Cake, and I have to watch that community mourn again and again, it keeps me up at night. And when I hear the story of a young mother getting murdered on Prince of Wales Island, and I have to watch my friends bury their cousin, it makes me sick to my stomach. And I'm here because when I hear about a 10-year-old girl in Kotzebue who is kidnapped and murdered, and I have to watch her family try and reconcile that, it makes me horrified. And when I hear about a young expectant Native mother in North Dakota whose neighbors trapped her in their apartment, slit her open, and ripped her baby from her womb while she was still alive, I'm horrified. And these are just some of the recent cases. These are just some of the ones that we know about. There are plenty of others who go unreported and never receive justice, and their families never get answers. So why are you here? Why did you get out of bed on a Saturday morning in the middle of the Alaskan winter, battle that downtown parking, and walk up this hill? I look out at this crowd and I'm hopeful because I see men, women, and young people of action. I see hope that next year this conversation will be about how much progress we've made, how many statistics have made a 360-degree turn, how healthy our communities are becoming. But it's going to take more than us marching up this hill one time. We're here on these steps for a reason. We're here to make some noise for the voiceless. And if we need to come back and remind the folks inside about this issue next week, we'll be here. And if they forget next month, we'll be writing letters, sending emails, showing up on their doorstep. And if they forget about that, we'll be running for their seats. Because we are people of action. And those women and girls on those posters and in those obituaries and in those red dresses, they deserve to be remembered. Their lives mean something.
They sure do.
So my call to action is simple. Do something. Do anything. Don't let this conversation end here. Tell your friends about this issue. Organize community meetings. Write letters to these people. Help Native organizations who are already doing this work on their own. We can all do something. Those red dresses could have been your neighbor, your daughter, your sister, your mother. They could have been standing here with us today. Instead, we're left with their empty dresses. So it's time that we stand for them. And men, this issue may be about missing and murdered Indigenous women, but please don't tune this out. I want to thank the men who are here and those who are our allies. We see you and we appreciate you and we need you.
There we go. There we go.
We need you to use your male privilege in those spaces that we don't have access to or agency within. So when you're in those locker rooms having that talk, change the conversation.
Yeah.
We need you to keep showing up to things like this and to march alongside us. Thank you for being here. There's one thing we know we need more of today is intersectional justice. We all need to look for the areas which our best interests and our biggest barriers intersect. Those are the places where we can all make a turn in the right direction. Our issues are not elevated by bringing other people down. This is our community. This is who we are. Look around you. There are people here for all different reasons. And without each other, we can't accomplish half of what we're here for. So in Slinget, we have a word that encompasses this idea. Some of you might know it. Living here, you probably hear it all the time. But I want you to say it after me. Gunachish.
Gunachish.
Now, a lot of times that word is translated as meaning thank you, but it carries so much more meaning than that. What it really means is, without you, this would not be possible. And so today I want to say Gunachish, because without all of you, this would not be possible. Thank you.